Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us here, as always, co-host of the show. He's finally showing up for work and on time, might I add. It's the magnificent Son X.
Sensational
It, baby. It's X time. By the way, I just want to say something. Big news. Dalton Kincaid has graduated from a right tackle officially to a tight end with a touchdown reception today.
Oh, my God. You and your fucking fantasy. Are you kidding me, X? Are you kidding me, X?
Nope.
Anyway, for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This is an all sports podcast that takes place every single Sunday. I'd say usually it's around this time period of about 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on that side. And we talk anything and everything sports on this show. So that's NFL, that's NBA, that's NHL, that's MLB, that's world football. We even talk some Formula One, Grumpy, some F1 sometimes. So, we talk pretty much anything and everything sports on this show. So if you enjoy this content and you want to see more, or if you enjoy the content and you just want to let us know, there's a few ways you could make us aware that you like the content. It's by subscribing on YouTube so you don't miss out on any of our future videos, and by liking the video. If you like the video, it tickles the algorithm. It gets this podcast out to the masses. Tickle. And also, it goes ahead and lets myself, Grumpy, and Son X know that you like the content that we're producing. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. For today's podcast, I'd say it's a little bit heavier in NHL than it has been in weeks past. We've got definitely some NFL to talk about, right? Because that's always the Mac Daddy. We're going to be talking some NFL action. We're talking some World Series, and we're talking some how the hell do you blow these games situations. I mean, like the sun is setting on a few teams, the sun's setting in a few situations, and some guys are starting answering the bell. So we're going to be talking about all that and more.
Ding, ding.
What do you mean, ding, ding?
Answer the bell.
Answer the bell. Well, I guess we'll talk World Series here first, right? I think that's what's it's all encompassing right now. The Dodgers are up 2-0 over the Yankees so far. Both games have been Dodger home games. Did you guys have a chance to watch those World Series games?
Watched the first one, did not watch the second. This should be a very quick segment. That series is over.
You think so?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. Aaron Judge blows.
Ghosty. The only time he can get hits is when nobody's on base or there are no pressure situations. When he has ducks on the pond, can't do shit. Strikes out.
All I'm going to say is when you're seeing Juan Soto be intentionally walked to get to Aaron Judge, tells you all you need to know. Here's the thing. Aaron Boone is a shitty manager. I've been saying it for years. And I just watched the ending of game one.
Blue game one.
He and that's it. Series over.
Yep.
It's not over. Shohei Ohtani.
No, you have to win every game. Garrett Cole is starting. You have to win those games. If you don't win those games, you're not winning.
Okay. He took Garrett Cole out, and it's the same thing I say. I know we're going to talk about it later. Garrett Cole threw 88 pitches, and you yanked him out. 88 pitches.
Yeah, and obviously fans unhappy about that. He was dominating through 88 pitches, and they yanked him.
It's the analytics geeks.
It's the fucking World Series, guys. This is not like, oh, hey, this is the first round of the playoffs. It's the World Series.
This is Tampa Bay against the Dodgers, however many years ago. The same exact thing. Blake Snell just blowing them away. Well, he's been through the order twice. I know he's only thrown, 75 pitches, but they probably have seen him twice. Dude, you're paying these guys tens of millions of dollars. It's for them to produce. The analytics geeks who here's the thing. Why do they want to be involved in sports? But they suck. They have no talent at all, physically, athletically, anything. So let's just get on our freaking slide. Let's get on a little slide rules and our little piece of paper and our rulers. And let's say, okay, this is the way it should play. No, it never works. It never works. They suck. When you let the little Dexters and the little Poindexters and the Barnabys in there to be part of the damn sports world, this is what you get. When you say, well, Nestor Cortez, let's bring him in a big moment. I know he hasn't pitched in a month, but let's bring him in in a high
37 days. He hadn't pitched in 37 days, and they brought him in.
Loaded, bases loaded. Let's have him in. And what happens? Boom. Grand slam, series over, game over, series over. The Yankees lose. That Aaron Boone has to lose his job. Cashman, another piece of shit, has to go. If they don't sign Juan Soto back, they're going to be back to being a trash organization. Period. End of sentence. End of story. Done.
Oh my God. Okay. Crump, is there anything else you want to add about this?
I just hate the nerds. I hate the nerds. I just hate them.
Well, I'll say this: taking out Garrett Cole in Game 1 when he pitched like 6 innings, giving up
88 pitches. 88 pitches. This guy's good for 120. He's your horse. He's your horse.
And here's the thing, too: with the breaks that you have, it's the last fucking series of the entire year. Throw him out there in Game 1, have him pitch 100 pitches, give him a few days rest. Hey, guess what? Game 4, you're back out there again. And if it's Game 7, you're back out there again.
That's right.
You're pitching until your arm falls off at this point because you have an entire offseason to get healthy and to recuperate and to feel better.
The Yankees hadn't played since a week before, and he could only go 88 pitches. That's on Boone. That's on Boone. If he's listened to the morons in the front office, that's on him too. Aaron Boone's a shitty manager. Honestly, I've never seen a guy just underachieve with so much talent. He blows. He's soft. He's a cuck.
Now, I will say this much. Aaron Judge has not performed.
He's been shit.
He never performs in the playoffs, ever. It's not the regular season going against, the Oakland A's. Will hit 7 home runs in the series. Yeah, who cares? They win 4, or the Chicago White Sox.
You know who's looked really good? Stanton.
Giancarlo Stanton. He's a playoff guy.
Phenomenal.
He's a playoff guy. He just is.
When Stanton is rolling, he's tough to stop. He's in a heater right now. You know who else has looked good? Juan Soto's looking good.
Yep.
You know who really looks
Judge?
The daily. Well, you're not going to sit. They're not going to sit.
What's his batting average so far in the postseason?
It's not good.
100.
No, it's a little above that. Here's the thing: he's going to get hot.
He's the liability of the team.
He's going to go. He's had so many strikeouts this year in the postseason. He just hasn't played well. He's starting to grip the pad a little tight too. You could tell he's in like he's not.
I hear you making a shit ton of excuses for this guy.
He's not because he likes him. Because he likes him. It's one of his guys.
Aaron Judge. I do like.
I don't hear you talk about Juan Soto. He's revolutionized the team. He's the reason why they're in the World Series. He's the reason they're in the World Series.
The home run against Cleveland.
He's the reason they're in the World Series.
Giancarlo Stanton's been the best bat for him in this playoffs.
He has
not
been
true.
He has.
I argue that
he's been the best bat for them. Okay, that's like
been good too.
I'm not saying Stanton hasn't been good. I'm saying Giancarlo Stanton's been the best bat for them so far this postseason.
I agree.
Who's been the worst bat for them?
Judge.
Probably Aaron Judge.
Not probably. Absolutely, Aaron Judge. Him and Austin Wells, but you don't expect.
Is it not enough for me to say probably Aaron Judge? I'm not disagreeing. It's probably Aaron Judge.
No, you just say it definitely is.
The boneheaded pitching decisions that Boone has made. You just know he's got some guy named Poindexter with a little pocket protector and little goggles on there telling him what to do. And he's like, yes, whatever. I'm sorry. These guys, any of these managers who listen to these shitheads up in the front office, they all deserve to lose their jobs. I'm glad they lose. I really hope I'd love to see them get swept. That guy needs to go.
I think you need to put in an interview with the Yankees requesting a job offer to be manager of the New York Yankees.
I'll tell you what, I would. Who is this? Dexter? Poindexter? Shut the fuck up. Bang! Slam that phone down.
Well, I do have some video, grumpy old man, of Aaron Judge. Now, here's the thing. I think he can build off of this. This is Aaron Judge. We need you. Here's Aaron Judge batting. I think we can build off of this as you guys as Yankee fans. I think.
Oh my God, this guy looks like he can't. I'm going to tell you, he looks. You know who he looks like? I don't even want to say who he looks like. He looks like somebody I know, though. and he's not going to be able to hit the ball. That's what I predict.
Let's watch.
Whoop! Yep. Oh my goodness! Holy shit!
The ball's aren't even close to bouncing before the plate.
Is he playing? Cricket? Holy hell. Who's feeding the balls through there and shooting two of them out at once?
That does look like Aaron Judge. They throw 50 balls up there. You're going to miss every single one.
He's swinging at everything. Oh, no. Typical Eagle fan. Typical Philly fan. Just waving at that shit. Anyway, all kidding aside from this guy. But here's the one saving grace.
He's playing. He's going to be fine. He's playing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
No, here's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. He had to make some bets in the middle of the game, so he had to walk off the field and go to his phone. That's what happened.
What I thought had happened was he needed to go ahead and lessen the odds. Like, oh, Shohei Ohtani may be out. Oh, this could hurt the Dodgers' odds. And then he went ahead and placed about $10 million on the Dodgers again.
It looked like some bets were placed when you went to the locker room and he hits him with the no speak English.
I tell you this much. You look at the map, like the heat map of what states are rooting for who. Everyone's rooting against the Dodgers. I don't think there's a single soul who believes that crock of shit that the MLB put out with this nonsense about 17 times wire fraud there for illegal gambling on Shohei Ohtani. Whoa, I'm not going to go ahead and pursue legal action against my buddy and try to get the $13 million he spent back for me. Oh, yeah, they just went in there and said, hey, my name's Shohei Ohtani. Go ahead and wire $1.1 million to broker A, B, and C.
Nobody's calling for the gambling guy.
Yeah, again, no. I would like to think that people are smart enough to see through and like, this is a crock of shit. We used to be very pro Shohei Ohtani. I think he's a great player. But again, this, in my opinion, completely goes ahead. It drags his name through the mud, and I'll never look at him the same. Never will.
As Pete Rose said, I wish I had an interpreter.
Oh my God. So you think there's no chance the Yankees come back?
No. Hell no.
No,
maybe if Los Angeles just explodes and then all of the players are just deceased and they have to start from scratch and use fans, then maybe the Yankees could come back, but that's about it.
Is Aaron Boone still the manager of the Yankees?
Yes.
No.
I don't think there's any way of getting rid of him right now, Grump.
No.
All righty. X, let's start jumping into some comments here real quick. We got our little World Series fix out. You know what? I think the Yankees are going to win, and I think Aaron Judge is going to turn it on, Grumpy.
Oh, you know what? He's never been good in the postseason. He just never has.
Aaron Judge's mother doesn't even think he's going to turn it on.
Yeah.
All righty, Grumpy. Drew.
TJ, I know what we can start off with. You should show a clip of the Geno Smith falling on his butt earlier for literally no reason.
Oh, God.
Okay. He got his foot stepped on. It wasn't like he just fell. He got his foot stepped on.
Let's watch here. This is the one that Drew sent.
His foot stepped on by his guard.
Yeah, he was stepped on. He got stepped.
Here's the problem. When he's starting to step.
Guess what? TJ's going to blame the quarterback and not the fact.
It is the fucking quarterback. He's not even fucking moving his feet. You sack of shit. He ain't even moving his feet.
He's got to receive the ball first.
He's built in. Okay. Here's the thing. When lazy quarterbacks,
the elephant stepped on his foot, and it's his fault.
Listen, guess what? What the lazy quarterbacks do? That's it. And they just start leaning backwards. Hey, Geno, I want you to move your fucking feet, you lazy son of a bitch.
I'm shocked his foot is broken from that lineman stepping on.
I wish you would have snapped his ankle in half because of this lazy son of a bitch.
I could have told you that he was going to take the lineman side.
Look at this shit. Look at him not move his fucking
feet. He's got to receive the ball. What happens if he pulls out too soon?
Guess what? He's already got the fucking ball and he doesn't move. I'm sorry. He's got to do better than that. And here's the thing, Geno. You don't have to be up the ass crack of the other player. You know that, right? Again, your job.
You want to play quarterback? You're one of those slots on the offensive line.
He's the one doing the stepping.
Yeah, lazy fuck. Lazy fucking Geno.
Look at him, he falls down to the clumsy bastard.
Because he trips over that son of a bitch quarterback who's not moving his fucking feet.
175. Nobody touches him. Down he goes.
Yes, he does.
He went down faster than the freaking Titanic did in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
It's because he's bigger than the Titanic.
Look at Geno Smith. You could pretty much go ahead. He's not even a foot away from the center's legs. He's not even a foot away from these legs. What do you think's going to happen when you got guys moving their feet to make blocks as you're on top of them? The reason why the quarterback
lined up in the back.
Hey, you want to know what? Look at Geno. Look at this lazy fuck. He's the high. Hold on, seriously.
Why is he in the back? He looks like he's a fucking running back. Why don't we line up the quarterback? He's not even up on the line of scrimmage because he's fat.
He's running a jet sweep.
What a blunder!
I want you to look at this. Geno Smith is the highest player on the line.
Lined up deeper than Geno Smith.
He's pulling.
Well, that doesn't mean he's got to be lined up in the backfield.
Here's the thing, Geno Smith. The reason why, here's a note. This is a learning experience for you, Grumpy. I'm going to teach you something here.
I don't see the lineman on the other side line.
I'm going to teach you something. I'm going to teach you something, and maybe all the people who are listening at it is a little learning lesson. Okay, quarterback shouldn't be the highest guy on the line of scrimmage by about 8 foot. Again, you see how he's standing straight up and down because that lazy motherfucker. That lazy motherfucker wouldn't bend his ass and bend his knees down.
That pig is lined up in the backfield.
Listen.
That pig is lined up in the backfield. He run over his quarterback, then he falls down.
I got to mute you, Grumpy, because we're going to have to go ahead. I'm going to make a point here. Listen, simple as this. He's standing straight up and down. If he would sit down and receive the ball, he wouldn't need to be on top of the guy. He wouldn't get his feet stepped on. But because that lazy motherfucker wouldn't bend his legs down, and even he's not moving his feet very well, there's inexcusable for a quarterback to get his feet stepped on. Okay. You lazy fuck.
Why is the guard lined up in the backfield? Everybody else is up on line except for him.
Both guards are.
No, the other guard absolutely is not.
Simple as this. He gets stepped on by the. He
can't turn fast enough.
He gets stepped on by the center.
Watch him fall. I want to watch him fall again.
Listen, he gets stepped on by the center. He gets stepped on by the center. The center. Okay, here's the thing. You're wrong, and I'll zoom in for you. Here you go, Grumpy. We'll zoom in really close. We have the technology. Here you go, Grumpy. The center is the one stepping on him. You see 75? You see how his foot is turning? The center is the guy who's stepping on his feet. You want to know why that is? It's because the lazy fucking Geno wouldn't sit down into a squat and get off the fucking line of scrimmage. Geno Smith, you sack of shit. Get off the pitch. Get off the field. He's done.
The reason why the guard's foot is like that is because you just finished scraping the top layer of skin off of Geno.
Oh, wrong. Simple as this. Geno Smith needs to do better. Geno Smith needs to do better.
Yeah, it's never the fat lineman's fault. Yeah,
you know what they're saying
that's on the quarterback too, right, TJ?
You know what they're saying in film study?
Penalties are
you know what they're saying in film study? You know what they're saying in film study?
75.
That bag of shit. Why'd you step on our quarterback and try and fracture his foot?
Hey, the same quarterback who's throwing 3-4 interceptions a game. Hey, buddy, when we're on 4th and 1 on the goal line, I need you to line up about a little bit further off the line of scrimmage. I can't have you hugging the ass of all the linemen. You need to be a little bit of separation so you don't get your feet stepped on, okay? Because we can't have you fucking fumbling and stumbling all over the place, Geno. That's simple. Don't get me started.
Says, evening, everyone. Son X, let's get you involved in the show early. Any home safety tips with the holidays approaching? Let's say kitchen safety tips. This should be interesting.
Don't leave your oven on.
Don't leave your oven on.
The kitchen tip we have, fill up the water. Fill up the water at the Grumpy Estate. That's the kitchen tip we've got. How about those Jets?
Oh, my God, the Jets. The Jets just do Jets things, don't they?
How did they lose today's game against the freaking Patriots? By the way, Drake May got a concussion, so we only played like the first quarter.
They got beat by Jacoby Brissett.
Well, they didn't even have like 200 yards of offense. How many yards of offense did the Jets or did the Patriots have?
I don't know. They were all like on the last drive.
What the? I'm sorry. How do the Jets keep losing fucking games?
It's the Jets. The Jets do Jets things. I honestly, when the season started last year, I was in on them.
This year you're in on them too. You said they're winning Super Bowl again. Year number 2 in a row.
I kept on forgetting that they're the Jets. I just looked at the roster and I'm like, oh. This team could, and then they should have said, "Oh, remember, it's the Jets. The Jets. It's the Jets. The Jets do Jets things."
I don't understand how they lost. Like what?
They're the Jets. They're the Jets. That's how they lost.
Was there a time period where what did they do? Like they give up like a huge punt return for a touchdown? Like what the fuck happened?
Yeah, they gave up like a 70-yard punt return, and that was it. And then they made I think one pass, and it was a 20-yard pass, and that was it. Then the last drive, that was the New England offense the whole day.
How does the special teams coach keep his job?
I don't know. He probably because he used to be a lineman for Seattle, and his number was 75.
They said, "Hey, you step on feet and fracture toes really well. We're going to keep you on the team."
Oh, here we go.
Well, expectations is over on October 27th. Welcome to Jets Postgame Live, presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealers to get behind the wheel of yours today, alongside Bart Scott, Willie Colon, Connor Rogers. I'm Steve Gelbs. Guys have been doing this together a long time. I'm not sure that I've ever seen a more inexcusable loss than the Jets game today against New England, falling 25-22 against the Patriots, and again, essentially ending their season. All areas of the team continue to look dysfunctional, and it's very hard to even project where this team goes from here. Bart, your initial thoughts?
Disgusted, actually. I mean, as a former Jet, embarrassed, ashamed. Defended this team every single week up until this point. But now they have to take accountability. Now you run out of people to blame, and they got to take responsibility for what's going to be said nationally, locally. This is on them because now they've been or become exactly what people always say, the same old Jets.
There it is. That's all we needed. Isn't that
there you go. It's the Jets. The Jets do Jets things.
Oh, God. Honestly, I was like, holy shit. I'm like, the Patriots on 4th and 1. And I'm like, they're down by 5 points. I'm like, are the Jets going to stop them? I'm like, oh, my God. They gave up a touchdown. My God. They had like 200 yards of offense, and they gave up 25 points against.
They put up New England's offensive line is the worst in the league, and they put no pressure on Jacoby Brissett. None.
2-6. 2-6.
They're tied with the Patriots now for worst team in the division. Freedom Fun Adventure. And here's the thing. What's the Dolphins record? They lost to the Cardinals today.
And hey, Tua came back. We're going to be talking about him.
Came back.
Noodles came back. We'll talk about him. Go ahead, Grumpy. Go ahead, X.
Says, did you guys read Waz quote on bringing Engvall up? Definitely.
Oh, my God.
Veiled shot of Lou. I don't even think his comments were veiled because he also brought one about Matt Martin, too. Meaning 18 hasn't done nothing. 18 had 1 point in 6 games in Bridgeport. How does that warrant a call-up? Well, because Lou Lamoriello wanted him to call up. There's big problems in Islander City. I'm just telling you right now.
Yep.
I don't know who. I don't think they're going to fire Lamoriello in season. This will be
obviously a problem.
Yeah, I don't know what they promised Wah, but
I don't know if they did anything on that side. Here's the thing. Lou obviously still has full control, and he's back to his dictatorial ways. Wah said, having Marty back in the lineup, leadership, experience, I mean, he brings that physicality that we feel. I think Lou thinks it's important for us. Let's say that first sentence. I think that Lou thinks that it's important to us. That would indicate to me, well, it's not like, wow, I think that's important to have. I think Lou thinks that that's important for us.
Passive-aggressive. That's passive-aggressive.
And Pierre, we know what he did the past 2 years. I guess Lou thought it was a good moment for him to be back in play.
Another passive-aggressive shot at Lou.
Lou does everything, and he tells us what happens.
How pissed off was Patrick Waugh yesterday when Lou said you're not allowed to talk to the coaches or the players before the game because he was afraid of what Waugh might say?
Absolutely. That is, hey, guess what? Just as we, at the end of the show, we're like, what's the only thing? Maybe there's some fighting in house. That is exactly what's happening right now. He is just, could you imagine if he talked pregame? He's like, well, I don't have any control over this. And then they come out and get skunked the way they did, give up 6 unanswered goals. Could you imagine the post-game presser if he had a chance to speak before game about that stuff?
And yeah. I like the last one that's here said, can now hear a "Let's Go Panthers" chant echoing around UBS Arena. I don't, like I said, I looked at it yesterday and I'm like, they said the crowd was 15,000. Okay, that's paid. That's not butts and seats. Because I'm going to tell you what, I'd be stunned. And Sears also put a picture out. It looked like 2 minutes to game time, and it looked like there was maybe 1,000 people in stands.
Look at this, X. How many fans do you think that is? Actually, we're going to do it like this. Maybe we'll zoom a little better.
Dude, that's a sellout crowd.
That's 15,000.
15,000.
Dude, oh shit! I was going to say 100,000.
I mean, again, like this is they're just about to start. This is literally it was done
when they're coming out on the ice. Yeah, that's maybe 1,000 people.
I mean, now again, other people who were at the game said maybe if they had the ballpark, it was tops 11,000.
No way in hell.
They also asked why after the game about Varley. What you thought about Varley's performance?
My God,
And-
yeah, that was bad.
All
That
right,
was bad.
he did a pregnant pause that was so pregnant that the girl delivered twins. There was like a 7-second silence after that.
Here it is. God.
By the way, that looked like a Carolina Panthers game.
Okay, you can't
Okay.
talk over this.
Let's listen real quick.
What do you think of Varley tonight? It's tough because Varley has been so good for us, and he's a big boy. He knows he could have maybe get a couple of those, but hey, listen, it's a team game. We don't let our goalie down, and we have to find a way to win those games, even if maybe it was not at his best.
He's trying to find a different way to say, wow, he really sucked tonight. And he did. He was awful. He's been awful all season long.
Not good.
Not good. Not good at Islander Town. And Freedom Fund Adventure, Grumpy.
I'm with Grumpy. Needs to have
Nerds have zero business around sports.
Oh.
Go work in the IT
You asked me to read it. and then- What the hell?
It was a misspelling. It was a misspelling. But I looked at it earlier. I already knew the comment was misspelled. Drew says here, Grumpy was definitely the type of guy in high school who shoved the nerds into the locker room during PE.
Not true. They usually tripped over themselves and fell into the lockers all by themselves.
That's why God gave him two needy sons to drive him crazy. Freedom Fund Adventure.
Nerdy sons. It's probably nerdy sons.
Yeah, I think it's nerdy son.
Yeah, you didn't get that one right. You don't want to whip that one out, do you, TJ?
I'm not a nerd.
Freedom Fund Adventure says the Dolphins lost on the last play of the game, which makes me happy, hoping it forces them to sell at the deadline. Sell at the deadline?
They're not selling.
And rise in the draft order? Absolutely not. You can see between injuries and just whatever, the team doesn't have it this year. They never have it any this year. They got a Poindexter on the sideline.
They can sell Tua as a cadaver, brain partially used.
Of any sport, the last thing you can have is some nerd fucking around with the football operations. Because guess what? The least nerd sport is football. It's a man sport, or at least it used to be, right? All right, now they kind of wussified it a little bit. But you're going to try to tell me somebody who weighs 112 pounds standing on the sideline with his little sweatpants that are like rolled up on the bottom, and he's got his little pocket protector, that McDaniels. Let me tell you something. He needs to go back to wherever he was, San Francisco University, wherever the hell he came from, and just, you know what, go back to the math department, because you have no spot, no chance of being an NFL head coach.
Let's listen here. Tyreek Hill addressed the team. Let's go ahead and listen here real quick. He dressed about Tua came back, because Tua Tagovailoa came back this week. Noodles was back, Grumpy.
Noodles.
The return of Noodles. Let's watch.
We're back, baby. Strike up the fucking band. We're back, baby. Start me this week, baby. Let's go.
Start me this week in fantasy. We're back, he says. Now, again, Tua made some nice little plays. Look at this one.
How do you feel? I asked Tua about that because
Look at that. Oh, baby. Look at Tua.
Okay, all jokes aside, Tua makes him a better team on the opposite side of the ball, without a doubt.
He
Because
does.
the two clowns that he had in there previously, I don't, like I said, they just.
Tua?
Now, I did like this. I don't know if you guys had a chance.
I yelled at the screen when this happened. I'm like, get down, get down, get down.
They'll rush forward. Tua steps up on the
I'm
run.
like, go down, go down.
A long way, and he'll slide, and the crowd's going to love it.
The crowd's going to love it. Okay.
The crowd is cheering. Again, this guy's got a glass made of jaw. He's got a brain made of noodles.
A glass made of jaw.
It's a
Jaw made of glass. He's got a glass made of jaw. He's got a glass jaw. Simple as that.
Do you want
If
to
he
know?
gets hit, go ahead, Grump.
You want to know what would have been really poetic justice if he would have went down that slide and got concussed on that?
No,
That would have been funny.
no, it wouldn't have been funny. At this point, though. At this point, I don't really have a lot of sympathy if he gets concussed again and has brain-altering injury, because it is clearly obvious that he should not be playing the sport.
Absolutely.
His health and then prioritize that. He's made millions of dollars. I don't know how many more times he can have finger-altering, like knocked out concussions that takes him out for months. He should not be playing the sport of football anymore. And he's not wearing the Guardian cap either. That
they asked him about it.
On his head. And they asked him, he said, personal decision. Again, you know what it's like? It's like saying, hey, buddy, this is an open book exam. You could do all the studying you want. You could bring a notebook with you, do what you want. And the kid shows up with no notebook, no study materials. Just like, oh, I'm just going to take the exam just like it was a normal one. And he fails it. And like, oh, well, dude, we gave you every opportunity to try to help your ability to be, prolong your career and your life. And you're just not taking it. I don't know. Again, like at this point, like Noodles, if he gets sacked, I'm worried. I'm like, oh God, is he going to get up? Was he sacked?
I've had discussions with people about this, and they say that they don't want to see Tua play anymore. I said, you know what? At this point in time, it's like Gladiator Day amusement. This guy decides to put himself out there. If he dies out there on the field, he dies. It's his decision. He's not being forced to do that. They're not holding a gun to his head and telling him to play. He's doing it on his own. So you know what? If he dies out there on the field, you did it to yourself.
Why don't you tell us how you should be saying that, X?
If he dies, he dies.
That's it.
I'll tell you this, though. Simple as this.
Somebody, Drew needs to whip up the Apollo Creed sitting in it and just put to his head in between, going like this, thumbs up in between rounds, and then just have him get knocked unconscious. I think that'd be hilarious to watch too. But seriously, I'm because I was watching that live, and I'm like, go down, go down, go down, go down. He picked up the first down, go down.
He's gonna get sacked. He's going to try to do something, and he's going to get hit. Here's the thing. You're playing football. You're going to get hit. Simple as that. And a sport where you get concussed anytime you get hit shouldn't be one that you're playing. They really shouldn't. He continues. He's had the chance. He's made millions of dollars, multiple millions of dollars, but he still chooses to go out there. Do what you want, buddy, but the risk is very apparent. You know that if you get hit hard and your head hits the ground like it does when you get tackled, you have a very high propensity of getting a concussion. You know that. You understand that's the risk, and you're doing that.
Yep.
And again, that could have life-altering impacts on your future. And you are knowingly going out there, taking every single snap, taking every single practice. That's what you're doing. No, again, not feeling a lot of sympathy for you if something happens. You're not even wearing the Guardian cap.
They told him straight up, they're like, if you're not cleared by the doctor to play medically, if they're like, yeah, we don't suggest that you play anymore, that he would get paid out his whole contract too. He was guaranteed that money.
Yeah, when you get injured, sure.
X, can you tell us what the name of your fantasy teams were last year?
SunX, Smart.
No. Last year.
Oh, I don't
CT.
Oh, CT induced suicide. That's right.
Yes.
CT induced suicide.
See, now that fiance Y is in charge of X's life, I'll bet his teams aren't named that anymore.
Well, no, I don't have two on my team this year. If I had them on my team, I'd still name it.
All right. Next comments. Let's keep going, huh? We got limited time. We got to blast through things. Come on.
Read this one, Grump. Grumpy, read.
Freedom Fun Adventure says, TJ, play the Mike Piazza and Ted Williams video.
I've seen this video before.
Islanders never email.
He hits the ball good. Damn, this kid looks good. He really looks good. Thank you. I'm not kidding you. You look great, buddy. You do. I'm going to tell you the truth. I think I hit the ball as good as he does when I was 16. I'm not. Holy. This kid hits the ball harder than I ever did at 15, 16. Now I want you to talk and stride. Don't swing. Talk and stride. Stay back like you did then. Stay back. That's right. Now swing from there. Don't go out to get the ball. Get everything back here so you can swing from here rather than going out to get it. Right? But you really look good. You really look good. I'm not kidding you. That kid looks good. You got the scouts on him already, for Christ's sake. I'll be your agent, buddy. Here's a kid's going to be a 210-pounder kid, 20-pounder kid. He's going to hit the ball. I guarantee you this kid will hit the ball. Yeah.
He wasn't wrong, that's for certain.
And just to tell you, he was drafted as a favor to his uncle, Tommy Lasorda, by the Dodgers organization because no one thought he could play. And my dad always said that that Ted Williams was the greatest pure hitter he ever saw. So, he doesn't go back to, wherever, but he said Ted Williams was the greatest pure hitter that he ever saw. And he knew hitting. Ted Williams knew hitting. And, you're talking about one of the greatest hitters of all time in Ted Williams, and certainly one of the greatest hitting catchers of all time in Mike Piazza. And when you have somebody like that,
the greatest hitting catcher of all time.
Okay. So when you have somebody like that, like Ted Williams saying that to you, that has to be motivation for you. And to see all those teams pass on him time after time after time, I think it was like the 36th round or something he was drafted. I mean, it was really low, and it was just a favor, like I said, to Lasorda. And boy, that's a steal of a draft pick. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, loved him for the Mets. He was always my favorite player growing up.
He almost hit flat-footed when he was playing. I mean, it's like he was almost flat-footed. And it's funny, you listen to Williams, it's the same things, when we were coaching, stay back. You got to stay back, stay back, stay back. That's where you generate your power from. And that's a really interesting clip. I hadn't seen that in quite a while.
It's almost like having Tom Brady saying your mechanics are great. You're great at throwing the football. Same thing.
That he was talking to Shedeur Sanders a couple of years ago, saying these are things you need to do this and that and the other thing. Goon says, how low have the Jets sunk? Remember that Monday night when Namath was drunk as a skunk?
I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
That night, absolutely. Remember that
night. Yeah, that night.
I'll tell you this. The Jets are does Rodgers come back, or is he retired? He's going to go on an ayahuasca retreat in a dark room, or is he going to come back?
He's done.
All I have to say is I think that if he does come back, it's going to be where he gets to pick the head coach. It's not going to be the guy who looks like Steve Christmas in Arthur Christmas. That much I can tell you.
Who's Steve Christmas?
It's on Arthur Christmas. It's the big brother Steve. Comes out there, he's got a little Christmas tree goatee. He's like all buff and stuff. Steve Christmas.
What is Arthur Christmas?
It's a movie.
Well.
Oh,
I don't know what the hell this is. I've never
tell you something, Sunshine. You better get ready to start watching all those little Christmas movies because your daughter's going to want to watch them.
Gosh.
You could, matter of fact, you could put How TJ Stole Christmas. Maybe you could play that one too.
Oh, God. Geno Smith threw himself another interception. Again, Geno sucks. Again, you talk about the Seahawks and all those teams, just yikes. Go ahead. Let's continue with some comments because I want to get caught up because I want to start talking some other items here. Who is better at stopping pucks at this point? Is it Varlamov or Magoo? I'd say Varley. Still Varley. Better than Magoo at this point. Magoo's blind. Couldn't see.
Well, Varlamov. There you go. Freedom Fun Venture says, I played fullback on offense when blocking and running had those fat bastard offensive line step on feet. Man, it hurts. Only place those guys are careful is in the buffet line.
Whoa! Oh, gosh. Come on.
Drew says, guys, you can thank me. I started this podcast off with a bang.
There it is. Yeah, got the fiery passion out of the tyrant and Grumpy. Okay, you go. Goon Grump.
Am I on crack for thinking this may be the beginning of consistent contention for the Mets going forward? Yes, you are. Is the Jets season in the morgue?
Yeah, Jets are done. Mets, I think they're further away. Little bastard extra skipping my comments.
Didn't skip any comments.
Drew says here, Aaron Rodgers is a glorified Jacoby Brissett at this point.
Again, he showed a little bit of what he could do a while back. And again, I'm like, man, that's old classic Rodgers. You expect it. Then you know what? He's 40 years old. There's only one guy who's done it past 40.
He doesn't look bad, though. Rodgers does not look bad. Here's the thing. He hasn't. The fact that team, I tell you one guy who's completely underwhelmed this year, Bryce Hall. I'm sorry.
That's the offensive line just cannot run block.
They should have kept their boy Mekhi Becton. That's the problem. Mekhi Becton plays for the Eagles.
Why? Because he got half off at McDonald's?
Yep.
He plays for the Eagles.
They could tantalize him with some McDonald's Happy Meals.
Good says, any chance at the Mets signing Juan Soto and the Yanks inking Pete Alonso? Son X, have some money that I can borrow.
No to both.
I will say the Yankees need to re-sign Juan Soto.
Yeah.
If they don't re-sign him, I don't know where they go. The team is horribly built, as we've discussed in the past. They have a shitty manager, a crappy GM. If they don't sign him, he goes to the Mets. Man, oh man, that's a big loss. That's a big loss.
That's a big gift for the Mets. Then I think Juan Soto may be a future Hall of Famer if he goes to the Mets.
And it's a public relations fiasco for them.
Drew L.
I think it's safe to say Green Bay fleeced the Jets. Rodgers looks like Spencer Rattler out there.
No. Okay, Rodgers hasn't looked that bad.
He's not looked that good either.
He's not looked great.
Zerline or Sauce on the big play right before the end. Sauce Gardner gets turned around by freaking Butte. I'm like, come on! I totally turned around. Well, he did a pirouette, leaves a guy wide open that sets up the game-winning touchdown. Terrible.
Oh my God, yeah. And he's trying to make the big play. He's trying to make the interception. He's flat-footed as hell making this here just to put it up. We'll put it up so people can see. Now I assume Zerline missed a few goals or something like that.
He missed extra point.
Oh my God.
That's not the play. That's not the play.
Oh, that's just a different one. I'm sorry.
That's a different one.
Jesus, look at this. Oh my God.
I tell you what, he was so good his rookie year. He has how many years has he been? This is it. This is it right here. Watch this. This is horrid. Look at this. Holy shit. Oh, you got spin-a-rammed by Butte?
You got burned in man coverage, just got fucking burned. Look at this too. Look at the cushion he gave. God,
what are you doing?
The one thing is a corner. What's the one thing?
You can't
flip your hips like that. You better keep the fucking guy to the outside. And he just, holy shit. It wasn't like he was even a great route. Look at the cut. The cut wasn't even that good of a cut.
Who has really struggled today against one of the top corners in the league.
He started pivoting the other way.
Turns him around, makes the
outside and slip. That's like, you got to be kidding me. Terrible.
4 penalties, 1 touchdown allowed. Oh my God. 184 yards allowed. My God.
He's been bad this year. I got to say, I do like the black helmets with the Jets across the top.
Next comment here.
Drew says, don't worry, TJ. I sent all the Tua memes as well.
Yeah, I don't know what Tua.
Drew said, little has been heard from Antonio Brown lately. Has his stock improved greatly? He's supporting Donald Trump in Pittsburgh. Him and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. Talking about it. I'm not sure those are the great endorsements you want. Is from a guy like Antonio Brown. So
doesn't it fit that campaign though? Really?
The crazy. Yeah, I guess so.
You go on Joe Rogan. You're serving McDonald's.
Here you go, Grumpy. Here you go. Freedom Fund Adventure, Grumpy.
I thought SunX may have provided some microwave safety tips, like don't put metal objects inside it.
Aluminum foil goes really well inside the microwave.
There we go. We talked about that last night, X.
Yep.
When you don't show up, we go to the X-Files, and we bring up embarrassing X moments in time.
I'm fine with that.
And it seems like we could do that for quite a while.
100% there's a discord inside the Islanders world. Yeah, I'd say things are not going well in Islanders land. I think that's clear and obvious at this point. Now, there's a few other clips that I want to make sure we're able to show here on the NFL before we're going to start jumping, and then we're going to jump to college football and then some NHL action here. Hey, NHL's around the corner. NHL's in full swing now.
Around the corner.
NHL, with the way the Islanders are playing, it feels like the NHL season may be around the corner because they're still out in the starting block. But now Najee Harris at the end of the game, a little happy they won. I'll tell you this much. I have been shocked. And again, like I'm eating a crow sandwich. I'm eating my words. The Steelers. How the hell are the Steelers, grumpy old man, number 1 in the AFC North? I don't understand it. I mean, their record. What's their record, Grumpy? The Steelers are what, like 5-2?
5-2.
Again, they haven't really played anyone. They've had a really weak schedule, but the Steelers are 5-2, and the team just sucks.
They play good defense. Mike Tomlin's a really good coach.
Yes.
They brought in Arthur Smith. They've reemphasized the running game. Russell Wilson is a way better quarterback than Justin Fields, and it just made them better. There again, Mike Tomlin. I always used to bag on Mike Tomlin, as you know, when he was playing the Patriots at the end. Like, this guy's a loser. He can't win a big game. No, he just couldn't beat Brady like everybody else. But he is set to me. He's top 5 coach in the league, and he's been there for what, 17 years, whatever it's been. He's a fantastic head coach, a motivator of men. I love Mike Tomlin. And
no nonsense guy.
That's right. And the player, you know what he's not doing? He's not listening to those pencil pushing bastards up in the press box. That much I can tell you.
Did you ever look at when he interviewed for the job in Miami and they declined him, and the reason for them saying no to him as a head coach was to hip hop, direct quote. I'm like, God almighty. You look at that now, it's just like, oh, you're saying you didn't like I think that we can all agree that's probably like, didn't like the way he looked, didn't like the color of his skin, so they didn't hire him. To hip hop. He's anything but hip hop, Mike Tomlin. So
I didn't think he interviewed for the Miami job.
He did. Frank the Tank does a whole segment on it.
Yes. The Miami fans, trust me, the Miami fans here will remind you that we could add Mike Tomlin. Because again, he's one of the all-time greats as a head coach in the NFL.
Hall of Famer, no? Hall of Famer,
yes, absolutely. He'll go down as at least a top 10 coach in the history of the NFL. That's how good he is. And think about it. He doesn't have that many Super Bowls, but he'll go down as a top 10 coach, in my opinion.
The Steelers have had 3 coaches in like the last almost 60 years.
And they've all been really good.
Or 55 years, whatever it is. Chuck Noll, Hall of Famer. Bill Cowher, Hall of Famer. Mike Tomlin, Hall of Famer. There's a reason why the Steelers don't win every year. And, they have a couple of years when they're down. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record as head coach. And they've had some teams that are quarterbacks by some bad quarterbacks.
Like this year.
Pickett, guys like that. And I keep on telling you, don't ever toss out the Steelers, right? I say it all the time. Did I pick the Steelers to win division this year?
I really don't remember.
Okay, but I know I said I know I pick them for playoffs. He's just a great head coach, and the guys will buy in. Good for him.
Now Najee Harris, I'll let you watch this in the post-game presser.
Possessed tonight, bro.
Oh shit! Shout out my nigga though. Oh, shout out my.
Ooh.
I don't think you're supposed to let that one.
No, not supposed to let that one slip.
Okay. I love that. It's like a kid who's like, "Oh God, I made a mistake."
I'm just glad he wasn't white and said that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look at those eyes. Oh no.
And the quotes.
No one knows what to say after that. Ooh.
He's ready to get historical fine. He's ready to get a historic fine. Yeah.
You know what? Okay. I don't believe in finding guys for language, regardless of what they say. Oh, there we go.
I want to talk about this.
Who's the worst quarterback in the league? Who's the worst quarterback in the league? Can we pull up Anthony Richardson's stats and tell me why it's not Anthony Richardson? Pull up his stats today.
I will in a second. I want to talk about this. By the way, Bengals lose again, 3-5. They don't ever fire head coaches. I mean, think about how long they kept Marvin Lewis for. How the hell does Zach Taylor still have a job? I mean, we're dominated today by the Eagles. The Eagles, I mentioned this last year. I'll mention it again this year. Do you think they're ever going to outlaw the tush push?
No, and they shouldn't.
They used to not allow you to push guys from behind for a few years.
That's not.
I wonder if that comes back into play. Now, again, they had 3 of those touchdowns again, whereas the same thing.
But guess what? This is their bread and butter. Playing to the scouting report, and it's effective.
I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before they say we're not letting you do that anymore.
No, they're not going to do that. Stop it. Stop it. Learn how to stop it. Other teams have tried it, and they're not successful. The Eagles know how to do it, and they got a clown as a head coach too. Mr. Shave his head. Anytime you're shaving your freaking head, there's trouble in River City. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man.
Front event says I'm not misspelling, but this fan thing.
Effing thing.
Effing. Okay, spelled that one wrong too. Corrects me when I hit send. Freedom Fundamentals goes, Sunex, answer my rotator cuff question.
No, that'll be another one for the X-Files. You go ahead.
Oh, the rotator cuff question. Yeah. No, that's not today. Freedom Fund Adventure has X-Man. One of my favorite players tore his rotator cuff today. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry. Hold on. I didn't realize you were reading it. My fault. Hold on.
Come on, X.
I don't know much about this. Is that a serious injury or nothing burger that only soft-seeking, sympathy-thinking babies make a drama out of?
Depends on what sport the individual plays.
Okay.
How about if there was no sport they played and they tore the rotator cuff? What would you say, X?
Well, I mean, I don't think it'll affect them too much typing on the computer. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll make sure we keep that in mind. Now, this is something I wanted to bring up. This happened after we did our show last week. I'll let you watch it. We'll get a feel for what you guys think of it.
Please tell me that it's not an officiating mistake because we only have another 3 hours on this show.
It's not an officiating mistake. I can't believe you don't remember what this was. What's the one thing that you can't do to quarterbacks when they're running near the sidelines?
Yeah, you can't hit them. Yeah,
you can't tattoo them. Yeah. Now, I will say this. I'll watch it and want your opinions on it here.
pressure. Mahomes senses it. Steps away, gets around Fred Warner. Oh, what a run. Now dances for the He's still in bounds. Patrick Mahomes racing to the end zone, and he's out of bounds. They mark him at the 4. How did he do that?
I tell you this, it almost reminds me of the fake slide that Pickett did. You did it once. If you're going to the sidelines and going to exit, if you go back in bounds and try to run for additional yards, 15-yard penalty, loss of down.
Well, here's the thing. In the Green Bay game last year, he was still inbounds, and the guy lit him up inbounds and got flagged for a penalty while he hit Mahomes inbounds.
Well, then you know what it is?
It's an automatic penalty if you touch Mahomes. That's what it is.
Here's what you do. Anytime he's run alongside, you light him up, inbounds or not.
Right? Yep. Just like that guy.
And just
take those shots.
His career.
Yep.
What's the difference? 15 yards. Doesn't matter.
15 yards on a 4-yard line. I mean, here's the thing. If you're going to continue to run the ball this right here is I'm giving up. I'm walking out of bounds. Boop, boop. I'm stopping. I'm going to go out of bounds. You continue to run like that, you're going to have to get hit. The only way to stop it, either you're going to have to officiate it to where they can't do that, or they're going to get hit again and they're going to get hurt and they're going to miss time.
Quarterbacks. For quarterbacks, you cannot. I think that's the Pickett rule. It looks like if you're trying to give yourself up and you can't continue, because he was absolutely giving himself up.
You can't fake slide anymore. That was the rule. He did it once, and they said, "Ooh, we can't let him do that." As soon as in the offseason, they said, "You do that, you automatically give yourself up, or you fake slide."
Yeah.
Same thing. If you're going to pretend like you're going out of bounds and you jump back in and have players slow up, again, I think it should be severe. You give yourself up right at that point. Give him a 15-yard penalty too while you're at it. Simple as that, Grump.
Yep.
I have no problem with it. So that happened last week. Now, man, oh, man, the 49ers, how many more injuries are the 49ers going to have?
They got a shitty quarterback. That's their biggest issue. The quarterback sucks.
30.
You think it hurts them that they're missing out on guys like Brandon Ayuk's out for the season?
He didn't do shit all year when he was healthy.
Yeah, well, again, that's what happens when you give a big contract to a guy like that who never did anything besides 1 year. That's the risk you take. Yep. He signed a big contract. He started slacking a little bit. He's got that money, and now he's just not working so hard, it looks like.
Yep.
Simple as
that.
that.
The biggest loss to that team is Christian McCaffrey, and you can see that now. He is the entire team.
I 100% agree with you. Yeah, huge loss to be losing Christian McCaffrey.
The Mason guy is good enough in the running game, but not in the passing game. That's what sets McCaffrey apart. Is his ability in the passing game.
Well, also when McCaffrey gets into open space.
And here's the thing.
He's elusive as shit.
Brock Purdy is just a shitty quarterback. I'm sorry. There's
a lot of bad quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah. The quarterback play is just down around the league.
Yep. You're not going to see me disagree with that at all. There's a lot of bad play quarterback-wise in the NFL. It's like, remember, everybody's like, oh, Caleb Williams, he's looking good. He's doing, oh, man, Caleb Williams, he looks like
all he does is run around. And I'm going to tell you what. He's going to get hurt. There was a play in the Washington game today where the referee should have blown the whistle, and he still scrambles, and he winds up losing another 10 yards and getting sacked by 3 guys. Dude, at some point in time, you got to know self-preservation, because these guys kind of ease up a little bit when they have the guy in the grass. They kind of ease up a little bit, and if the referee's not going to blow the whistle and say, you're down, those guys are going to get lit up when they try to escape there.
Well, he did make a throw of the year candidate, Grumpy, and I'll go ahead and show you this. I mean, so he is looking like he's finding some of his footing about him, Grumpy. He's making some great throws. Well,
10, looks left, going to go left and throw it over the head of Allen.
Again, like these are just routine throws right here. They get the block on the outside edge. He's wide open, and you just overthrow wide open receiver.
Well, look at his mechanics. His feet are facing forwards, and he's throwing cross body. Look where his feet are.
Yeah.
He don't step in it. He didn't step into that throw.
Is this what we're talking about? He's running around, Grumpy?
Let me see. No, that's not the one.
No, he picked up a first down there. Or was short by like a yard.
It was a sack. He took a sack. He wound up taking a sack on the play.
Oh my gosh.
Boom. That's all Jaden Daniels has done all game, by the way. Is that one throw to Terry McLaurin. That's it.
Yeah. And again, here's the thing. It's really easy to hit guys who are wide open. I mean, look at him. You got about 4 yards. Just throw it as far as you can.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything else today but that.
Who's winning the game?
It's 9-0.
The Washington Commanders, whatever they are now. Let's call them the Redskins. Again, you look at the total offense. Chicago has only 33 passing yards, and on the ground, they've got like 70 yards rushing. They have 100 yards of offense in the third quarter. Not good enough. Simple as that. But continuing along here, Grump and X, wanted to talk some college football with you guys. We've seen over the time some questionable calls, some hits where you're like, wow, I can't believe this is called like targeting or this was called like roughing the passer. We've seen that before. I want to get your take on this. I think this may be borderline, guys. Let's get your take here on this.
It was nice to see Locklear
that's targeting.
make a signal towards the official.
That's a legit penalty.
Well,
absolutely.
that's definitely
Hold on.
Those 15 yards.
Call.
Hold on, was Miami playing? Because if it's Miami, then no, that's not
this.
There we
Again,
go.
it's a personal foul, roughing the passer with
that's clean hit, dude.
targeting.
That's old school football, baby.
Miami Cal, that's a clean hit. No
Nice
problem
to
at
see
all.
Locklear being able
By the
to
way,
make a
I don't know what you're
signal
looking
toward
at. That's not
Back in the
targeting.
70s and 80s, that was not a penalty.
No, it's not. I've got no problem with guys getting hit like that at all. None. Again, that's just how football is played. It's a tough sport for tough men, not for guys who get banged up anytime they get touched. I'm not sure if you guys saw this. Duke played SMU late last night. Duke, again, who figured we'd be talking about Duke football? But I've never seen a team squander as many Merry Christmas gifts as they were given. SMU turned over the ball 6 times.
And Duke lost?
Duke had 0 turnovers. Duke lost. Duke had a game-winning field goal with 3 seconds left. They allowed somebody to jump over a guy to block the kick. They had, and again, like it's like a comedy of error, and it's a comedy of errors. And I'm like, how the hell do you lose a game where you get 6 turnovers? You didn't score a single point off of 6 turnovers. You don't deserve to win. Here's the block kick. It's like, what the fuck, guys? I mean, it's right in the middle, right?
For the win. Catch is blocked.
We can't tell. It's all staggered. Can't tell.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
tell
like
what it
choppy
looks
as shit.
All right, he'll put there in slow motion. Let's watch. It happens right here over the right guard and the right tackle. It's just like, what, guys? Everybody gets up, and it's like this right tackle doesn't do a good job. He just like, whoop, look, he ducks his head. Just zoop. The guy just jumps right over the top with an easy routine block. Again, kind of get what you get. Now, and again, this was at the end. People were bitching and moaning about this. This should have been pass interference is what they're upset with.
It looked like pass interference to me.
It was pass interference. I'll put this in a little bit slower motion so it doesn't look choppy. But again, here's the point, right? Like, even though this is a bad call, it is pass interference. Dude, when you have 6 turnovers and you can get 0 points.
Still, if it's pass interference, throw the flag. I'm sorry.
He's all over him. Yes.
Throw the face mask flag on Thursday night. How about that?
Yeah, here's the other angle. You're exactly right. Because he's on him. He's got the grit jersey just locked on him. He definitely
he's got his hand all over his shoulder and drags down before the ball gets there. It's pass interference. That's an easy call to make.
Now, this is the one that we're talking about here. This blatant face mask. Just
and you know how you know it's face mask? Look at number 0. Look at him.
He immediately puts his hands over his head after
hands on his head because he knew.
Oh man, I can't believe I did that.
The only guy who didn't know it was the referee who was standing right there looking at it.
You mean both the officials that were looking right at it? Honestly, as I said, they're spectators and they have an earpiece in on exactly what to do and when to do it. They don't make any decisions themselves. It's all the league that makes decisions. They're just spectators. That's it. They're just mannequins out there.
You know that Bryce
Hall
is playing today. Bryce Young is playing today.
Oh, yeah, I know. And he looks like Bryce Young.
No, actually, he's looked okay today.
How many points do they have?
7.
Okay.
They
So
don't
he's Bryce
score,
Young.
they don't score any time anyway. Oh, there's our boy Daniels. Look at him run. First down. TJ loves that. Do we have any other comments, Mr. X? Well,
nope.
TJ just wandered away. No. Nope. Okay. Were there any upsets in college football yesterday? Because I did not. The Warden and I we've been rewatching ER, and we finished the 8th season. So
let me take a look.
I didn't watch any college football at all yesterday. I did watch a little bit of Oklahoma early on losing to.
I think there were a couple of close games. Pitt. Well, that's so let's see.
Pitt sucks.
Alabama won 34-0 against Missouri. They beat the hell out of Missouri. Oregon beat Illinois. Penn State ended up winning. Ohio State beat Nebraska.
That was close.
Texas Vanderbilt was close.
Yeah.
Miami beat Florida State. Texas A&M beat LSU. That was an upset.
Yeah, that's an upset for you.
Then you had Notre Dame beat the hell out of Navy, which I was kind of upset about that.
Yeah,
But
you expected it though.
and then Kansas State beat Kansas. Yeah, no, that was really the only upset was the LSU A&M game.
I heard Jameis Winston. I hear this is pretty epic. I'm interested to hear.
It is epic. Now, here's the thing.
Good for him.
I love Jameis Winston as a guy. If you like, I always love like the interviews of how he grew up, kind of how they were raised, and like you listen to him talk about it. He's a guy that I root for. Not a good quarterback.
No,
the guy that I root for. Now, here's the thing. Today, the Browns beat the Ravens. Jameis Winston threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. You're just kind of like, put in things I didn't expect for 500, Alex. It's just like I never would have thought that's the case. Again, he's the third string guy behind that Peoples kid. He was behind Deshaun Watson. He gets the opportunity to play, and they beat the Ravens. They're like 1-5 going into this game, or like 1-6, whatever they were. A bad team, and they come away at the win. Listen to Jameis Winston. They're talking to him pregame.
Jameis, I can tell you're taking it all in right now. You're about to make your first start since 2022. Ken Dorsey said that he's been preaching to you to play smart but not conservative. What do you expect from yourself?
This is the day that the Lord has made. I will be glad and rejoice in it.
You're looking really focused right now. You told us this week that everyone inside this building believes that this is the time you guys can turn it around. What's been the message?
Unwavering faith, ultimate belief, depending on the Lord. That's all we got.
You told me no nerves, just excitement and butterflies. Still feel that way?
Unwavering faith, ultimate belief, dependence on the Lord.
The message is clear, guys. Thank you, Jameis.
Again,
I'm rooting for Cleveland.
I'm
rooting for Cleveland.
Always have. And like you listen to all of us, even when he was with the Saints, all these other times, he's a likable guy. You listen to him fire the team. We talked about it kind of like joking around earlier on in the year where it was like the preseason game when he was like coming out there and he was starting, he was like firing everybody. He's just a very passionate guy. He's good for him. Good for him is all it is. Glad that they came out. They beat the Ravens. Not something I ever would have expected. Who would figure that offense would run smoother with Jameis Winston out there than it did with Deshaun Watson or whoever the hell else was out there?
I wonder, just by listening, if the team does not believe in Deshaun Watson.
Could be.
They don't.
Could be. Could be.
Deshaun
sucks.
I saw some of that game. Like I said, I watch Red Zone channel, and it's like, good for them. Cedric Tillman has really stepped up in the wide receiver position since Cooper was traded. I'm rooting for Cleveland.
So I want to talk about, we had a little bit earlier, we talked about teams that are done and people that are just absolutely done. I'll tell you this, the Penguins are absolutely done and dusted. The Penguins' time as a dynasty, the Penguins' time is.
Are we downshifting to hockey now?
Yes.
Okay.
Downshifting to hockey, Grump.
Okay.
So, yes. So this is the Penguins. Last night they played the Vancouver Canucks. They give up 3 unanswered goals in 56 seconds.
Sounds like a team that plays in New York.
Let's watch here.
Drawing their zone, but Myers with a good read to keep the puck in. Here's Garland in the corner. Connor Garland. Pedersen scores!
I'm going to tell you what. I love those old throwback Vancouver uniforms.
Yeah, they're good. We'll skate on. Oh, nothing you can do about that.
2-on-1. Letang needs to take the pass away on that.
Yep, yes he does.
He just needs to take away the pass.
Doesn't do a damn thing.
Yep. Oh. JT Miller's a good player, but you figure 4 guys will stop him after a shot, no?
Look at this. I'm just telling you. It's just like, I don't know. The team is just, the Penguins are toast. They're done. Simple.
The Raiders coach should be fired. I just want to say that real quick, by the way.
What did he do?
He's
They're
a
playing
moron.
the Chiefs today, right?
He's a moron.
They intercepted the ball
At the 1 yard line.
at the 1 yard line. They have first and goal from the 1. Did they score at all?
No.
Did he go for it on 4th down instead of kicking a field goal?
After he lost 2 yards on the first 2 plays, he goes for it on the first 3 plays, he goes for it on 4th down, and then they end up not scoring.
I'm sorry. Take the points, you stupid bastard. Take the points.
There's a reason
they're down by a point with the whole quarter to go. Why?
Useless.
Why do these coaches listen to any of those fuckheads in the front office? Stop listening to them. You know who doesn't listen to the idiots in the front office? Andy Reid. Oh, 3 points? Oh, well, you know, the book says you should go for it here, 4th and 2. Andy said, I'm just going to take the points. Because guess what? The only thing that matters is the points. You need points to win games.
Oh, man.
Don't go for it. Don't try a fake punt, Todd Bowles, in the 3rd quarter when your team is down by 7 at the 50. Because you turn it over, you don't get it, they drive right down and score a touchdown, and you want to lose them by 5 at the end of the game. Because you turn the momentum over to Count Chocula and the boys down in Atlanta. Terrible.
I did want to show this. Jack Eichel has been outstanding this year for Vegas. I want to show this play by him. Unbelievable, this creativity he's got. Let's watch.
Eichel gains a line. Driving in wide behind the net. Stone with a chance.
You'll see it in slow-mo. It is so much nicer.
What a pass.
A no-look pass.
Has everybody looking one way, the shot
Mark
the other?
Stone.
Seeing eye
Now.
goal, but still.
It's still, though, you're right. No-look pass. Great job. Great offensive acumen by him. Fantastic. So, again, like, you know, it's nice to see little moments like that. I will say this weekend is a big weekend for college athletics. Now, there will be no show this Sunday upcoming here, but it's a big weekend for college athletics. You finally have Penn State playing Ohio State. Does James Franklin get his first win against a top opponent? No way. And then no shot in hell. They're going to get beat. And Ohio State isn't even that good.
Where's the game being played?
I think it's in Penn State.
Oh, Penn State.
In Happy Valley.
Come on, James Franklin. I'm rooting for you, baby.
No shot in hell. No shot. Now, Drew Allar got out. He was out and injured, I think, at the end of the last game. He had to leave the game injured. This is in Beaver Stadium there. So, again, this is in Happy Valley. I just think there's no way Penn State wins. Penn State's going to lose like they always do.
They've come back and won really tough games this year. Like the game against USC, they came back and won that at USC.
Everybody comes back and beats USC. Okay. USC is 4-4 this season.
You know who couldn't come back and win? Ohio State this year.
Against
Oregon.
Okay, well, Penn State hasn't played Oregon, and they don't play Oregon. Penn State plays nobody. Penn State plays one ranked team the entire season. That's it. Oh my God. The only ranked team they play is Ohio State. This is it.
The Raiders are freaking bad, man. God. They're lucky they have defensive players because holy shit, that team's offense is horrible.
Let's get through the rest of these comments here. X and Grumpy.
I think I could start for the Raiders offense as a wide receiver right now.
Drew says Deshaun Watson on his burner account said, "Told you it was the play caller."
Oh man.
Freedom Fund Adventure adds, what sports do the three of you hope Baby Liza will play? Did Doc Page play sports? She did.
Volleyball.
She was a volleyball player.
Yep. Volleyball. That's it. Next comment. That's the only sport she'll play. Next comment.
Drew says, you know, it's crazy. I remember back in 2021, the Commanders had a good defense and everyone praised Chase Young. Turns out it was Montez Sweat doing all the work.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
Yeah. Drew says, again, Grumpy shoved the nerds into the lockers during PE class. That was not true. Not true.
It is.
Drew says, you guys think Bryce Young purposely hired a hitman to hit Andy Dalton's car?
Yeah, the Carolina Panthers are bad. They're the worst team in the NFL. Do they have a first-round pick this year, or do they give that away too?
They have first-round pick.
Okay, they're going to draft a quarterback, I assume, this year, right? Maybe they could get Shedeur Sanders.
Draft another quarterback?
I mean, Bryce Young quite obviously isn't the answer. You don't, if you've got a first overall selection, you don't say, let's let the shitty QB sit in there.
What are you talking about, X? What were you going on about?
I'm just saying, that Saints play Alvin Kamara, holy shit, way to not tackle. But no, what I'm saying is, I just can't believe that you think that the Panthers are just going to go out and draft a quarterback right. I don't think this quarterback class is that good.
It's not.
They're going to draft. They're going to draft.
I would draft Travis Hunter. Is who I would draft, and then save your draft pick for a quarterback for later when the draft class is better. I don't think any of the quarterbacks coming out this year are that good. I don't.
They're going to draft Shedeur Sanders. That's what the
Panthers fucking sucks. That guy blows. That guy blows. He's not good.
Follows.
He's a stat stuffer who puts up points in the fourth quarter when teams have either given up or his team's down by a bajillion points and his dad just has been throwing the fucking ball over the place.
Can I just say that's a lot of points? Can I just say that's a lot of points to go down? A bajillion is a lot of points.
Yeah, well,
I agree. A bajillion
Colorado,
is
they do it.
a bajillion is a lot of points, Grump. I will say this is clear though. I think that the Panthers will draft another quarterback.
It should not be next year.
You don't roll across number 1 overall picks very often.
When you're that shitty, yes, you do.
Okay. Freedom Fund Adventure says, okay, getting your information from Frank the Tank is nuts. Tomlin interviewed from Miami. The hip hop quote wasn't from the organization. It's not true. They really liked, I guess, him. They thought he was too young. I don't know. Freedom Fund Adventure, man, we love you.
Frank said hip hop.
Trying to decipher what he types is very difficult sometimes. Google says, do you think P. Diddy watches sports in jail? Will the Islanders continue to fail?
Probably.
He's probably rubbing baby oil on himself.
God.
The Dixon Way says, button smashed. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you there, Dixon Way. All right, X, do we have any other comments here?
Google says, what are the chances the Yankees come back and make Son X proud? Is Dog Z's bark loud?
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
Nobody likes Dog Z.
No, Dog Z is wonderful.
Milo, we've got time. We'll talk some Champions League here.
Can we talk? Milo Brad says, can we talk Champions League? Surprised to see Aston Villa and Liverpool doing so well.
I like Villa. They're good. And again, I understand. I said that I thought Villa would be a team that has a chance to win the Champions League, to win the Premier League. And again, today, right, Liverpool drew against Arsenal. We'll go ahead and take a look here at some of these teams. Villa's really good. They're really solid. And again, you just wonder because it's their first time competing in the Champions League in a while, isn't it? It's the first time they've been in Champions League in a few years.
Yeah.
So it's you wonder if all the additional games will wear on them throughout the season. Liverpool, I mean, they've got a few injuries. Who has Liverpool played in Champions League anyway?
No one's.
I don't even know.
Yeah, okay.
But the whole thing is, you know what they're doing? They're winning.
Yep.
That's, you got to win. You got to win.
Yep. You've got their City, Monaco. Leverkusen is not the same that they had last year with all the same magic. They're still a very good squad. Inter Milan is a good squad. It's a team that's hard to score against. Again, have not given up a goal against so far in Champions League. Arsenal, they go. Barcelona. Ooh, should we talk about Barcelona and Real Madrid, guys?
Bad loss for Real. Missing the starting goalkeeper.
They've been bad all year. They've been bad all year.
Starting right back, missing your starting right winger in that game made the difference.
It's all roster construction. They play it cheap, and it's the biggest team in the world. That's not something you can do, and they have.
How long until Ancelotti gets the boot?
I think he should lose his job already.
Yeah, I'm shocked he hasn't already lost his job.
I think they've tuned him out. I think some of the guys are more interested in social issues as opposed to playing on the pitch. I think it's a problem.
Got to worry about scoring goals and keeping goals out of the net. That's simple. I mean, as soon as you start worrying about other things, it's tough.
They get it. You get an injury. It's like they're so threadbare on the back end that they get an injury and that's it. It's just poor roster construction.
If they lose another center back, they're screwed.
They only have 2 center backs. You can't go the whole year with 2 center backs.
You're relying on David Alaba to come back, who's been pretty much almost out for a year and a half now.
I'll tell you, out of some of the teams in Champions League, PSG, I knew they would struggle without Kylian Mbappe. Now, Mbappe has not been very good for Real Madrid. Would you guys agree?
He can be better.
I mean, again, this is
yesterday. I think he had 7 offside calls in the first.
Barcelona's playing a high line like that. You're a quick, speedy guy. Make sure you're going to beat the guy to the ball, but you can't be offside 7 times in a game like that as a premier striker. Can't do that.
Agreed.
The other team that I'm shocked with is playing. I mean, PSG struggling a little bit in Champions League. Bayern Munich's looked awful in Champions League.
Yep.
That's what happens when you bring over a relegation tested coach there and Vincent Kompany to take over.
Oh, okay. Now I see why we're talking about it.
I think Bayern Munich may be one of the worst teams. Okay, Milan. I'm shocked Milan is struggling as much as they have.
Atletico Madrid is 2 losses.
Yep.
Atletico Madrid, even in league play, has been bad. Because
it was
guess what?
really, honestly, their loss though. Like I don't like Atletico Madrid, but their loss was kind of bullshit. It was a bullshit penalty that they gave to.
They lost again today.
I'm just saying their game
Lyon.
against Lyon that they played, they gave a bullshit penalty against them. It was not a pen
against Lille. But I'll tell you this though.
Or Lille, sorry, Lille. That's right.
If you look at their last 6 games, Atletico Madrid has 1 win, 3 losses, and 2 draws. That's not good enough for Atletico Madrid.
Don't worry, they always beat Real.
Well, they drew against Real. So like in that 6-game stretch.
That was a game. That was a game that Real gave them the tying goal.
Yep, that was when they threw a bunch of shit out there on the field, and they had 8 minutes of stop, or they stopped the game for like 30 minutes.
I tell you though, I get like Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone's. I think his seat's getting hot. I know Grumpy thinks they'll never fire him. You can't be a team that's like, we're just kind of in the middle of no man's land and still keep a job. You just can't. Anyway,
I don't think he's on the threat. Oh, what was that? X must have been typing. You know how you could tell?
No, I'm checking
Takes
something.
away says Shador has the worst offensive line in Division I football, but I agree about drafting Travis Hunter. I think the O-line has. I mean, they're not good, but that team, the way their style is, throw. It never allows you to be and establish a true run game.
I think his
They're
stats.
just going to pass the ball. They could just pin their ears back and send up a pass rush every single time.
I think
You
his
gotta keep
stats are
him on it.
extremely inflated.
They haven't played anybody. There's a lot of teams that haven't played any. Pittsburgh, they're undefeated. They haven't played anybody. This will be their first test is this upcoming weekend when they play SMU, who's like, 6-1. But again, like a lot of these teams haven't played anyone. Pittsburgh's the same boat. Guess what? Indiana, they haven't played anybody. There's a lot of these teams that haven't played anybody yet. Penn State hasn't played anyone. Again, so like it really helps. When you win games, it helps. Some teams are really battle tested. Some teams aren't. Like you think about it, like Texas A&M. Texas A&M has had some real dogfight battles out there.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like LSU, they've had some really contested close games against some good teams out there, Grump. But let's continue on here. Goon says here, but seriously though, what can the Islanders do to right the ship? Should Phil Fax bite his lip? Well, I think he's already biting his lip. You notice there's not so many tweets coming out there in Phil's Fax land. Haven't you noticed there, Grump?
I don't know. I don't really read Phil's tweets.
Yeah, you're not even making your weekly tweet anymore. Anyway, let's keep doing. I realized TJ skipped our memes. Okay, I'll pull those up here. What other comments do we have here as I get those pulled through here?
Sent one about 2 in the
Who
Guardian
says,
cap.
Do you think the NFL having the bold message vote in the end zone is really making a difference? No.
No, I don't think anybody cares about that.
And here's the thing. They don't care about it either.
Yeah. Whatever makes them look good. Here you go. Let's remove that real quick. Tua, you should wear a Guardian cap. And looky there. There he is. He's wearing a Cleveland Guardians cap. That's fun. Oh, good gracious. Let's go ahead and wrap things up here today. Grumpy X, what do you want to say before we wrap the podcast up today?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from TJ, the grumpy old man, and Son X.
And X, what do you want to say before we wrap up the show here today?
Want to appreciate everybody for coming out and listening as always. Love the interaction in the comments, and we will see you guys next time.
Next time, as he says. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks always for the comments. Thanks for the engagement there. X, maybe you could turn the lights on next time. So
have them on. Right there.
Jesus Christ.
Only an idiot has lights like that.
What do you think about those lights, Grumpy?
Only an idiot has them. Stupid.
Analytics people have lights like these.
Yeah. I don't doubt that, X. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be live with you guys. We will not be live with you guys next Sunday. We'll be out of town, but we'll be live with you the Sunday after. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We'll be with you guys next time.